All right, so welcome to EVTN News. Not sure why it didn't work as well the first time. Um, yeah, just definitely some technicalities on this device, but we're here, and well, I'm here, and hopefully you're here. And we got some news for you. Cardinal Angel Fernandez Artime, um, another Cardinal Fernandez, but not the one you're thinking of. He's a rector major of the Salesians until August 16th. Presided, that would be, well, okay. He was the rector major of the Salesians until August 16th. Presided Eucharist at the Basilica of Mary Help of Christians in Turin on the occasion of a youth synod. When he came to the Lord's Prayer, he invited everyone to pray in their own language. How inclusive. As a result, those present were given a vivid illustration of how the Latin Roman Rite had been replaced by a Novus Ordo Babylon. Um, and so this cardinal invented a modern day Tower of Babel. And apparently, people were there that spoke different languages, so he invited them to pray in their own language. And man, wouldn't it be nice if the Roman Rite had a universal language so that everyone could understand what was going on? But can't have that. Nope. Definitely can't have that in the new Pentecost. Although, in the real Pentecost, not the second Pentecost, the real Pentecost, when St. Peter and the apostles spoke, everyone understood them, no matter what language that no matter what their background or what language they understood. They understood when St. Peter spoke, and that's the thing about Latin, is that I could go to a Latin Mass anywhere in the world and understand what was going on. I wouldn't understand the sermon, and I wouldn't be able to really talk to anyone around me in certain countries, and most of them all, actually, unless they know English. But yeah, wouldn't it be nice to have a universal language? Okay, Father Franz Schmidberger, a former superior general of the SSPX, writes in his weekly bulletin about the state of the church in Germany. Referring to an unnamed German diocese, he says that 60% of the priests ordained in the diocese since 2010 have left the ministry because of depression, a nervous breakdown, or because they have given up the priesthood. Wow, 60%. That's not... And it's 60% ordained since 2010, so in the last 14, 15 years. That's pretty sad. A parish priest from another died baptisms performed by his predecessor. This priest staged invalid baptisms by speaking the words of the baptismal formula while the godfather was instructed to pour the water over the child's head. So it was more of a performance that, it was obviously not a baptism. It wasn't valid. But, yes. But if you went to the SSPX, your baptisms would be probably valid, I'm going to say. And the bar for baptism is set so low, really. All you have to do is, and you don't even have to, like, the person doing the baptizing doesn't have to be baptized themselves. It's a really and the bar is, I believe it was set that way because anyone of goodwill could be baptized, and baptism is necessary for salvation, so it's very easy to be baptized. You just have to do it right. And these Novus Ordo, some of these modernist priests can't even get it right. Sad to say. All right. Moving on to more news. Monsignor Jose Domingo Ulloa, Archbishop of Panama, invites to an interreligious event on the Feast of Our Lady of the Assumption is called Afternoon of the Temples, and it's everything that you would expect. Participants will be able to visit 12 temples between, well, this already passed, but this was written in future tense, but it said they will be able to visit 12 temples between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. The temples offer different cultural activities. There will be music, architecture, history, and gastronomy, which is fine dining. There are also folkloric dances, lectures on religious beliefs, and pagan rituals. The event was celebrated for the first time on August 15th, 2023. Sorry, so this is the second annual event. Monsignor Ulloa calls the afternoon a reflection of our religious diversity, which unites and strengthens us as a nation. Again, these are just modernists. I mean, this one's a bishop, Archbishop of Panama. So that's pretty sad, but not unexpected in the Francis Church. Speaking of the Francis Church, the Vatican Dicastery for the Liturgy, headed by Cardinal Arthur Roche, has ordered that the celebration of the Latin Mass in the Diocese of Helsinki will be transferred from St. Henry's Cathedral to St. Mary's Church. The Mass has been celebrated regularly in the cathedral since 2007, but only on the first Sunday of the month. The relocation of this Mass will begin on September 1st. As he did in Melbourne, Cardinal Roche again justified the move with the role of the cathedral as a model and sign of unity for the whole local church. So what kind of unity are they talking about? Unity with the pagan temples? I mean, just looking at the news stories today that I'm sharing today. Is it unity with everyone speaking a different language for the Our Father? What unity does he speak about? Is it unity of unity of doctrine that the saints believed throughout the centuries? No, it's not that. Definitely not unity of doctrine. It's unity of being arbitrary. And of course, you guys can see right through it. Alright, sad news. According to several reports, the alleged visionary Sister Agnes Sasagawa of Akita, Japan, died on the Feast of the Assumption of Our Lady at the age of 93, so may she rest in peace. Her visions of Our Lady took place in 1973. Satan will infiltrate, so the quote is, Satan will infiltrate, one of the quotes, Satan will infiltrate the church, bishops will oppose other bishops, cardinals will rise up against other cardinals, priests who venerate Mary will be persecuted by their brethren. Now, if any of the popes and bishops decided to promote this message, then what would have happened in Japan? Would there have been sort of a renewal of the Catholic faith in Japan? It's entirely possible, and if they were to have made this place a pilgrimage site, would there have been people going there instead of the Buddhist temples or the pagan temples in Japan? It's possible. I mean, it's a very what do I want? How do I want to describe it? Like I mean, they seem to really have, like, I don't want to, I guess I can say traditional, like they seem to value tradition in Japan, and so I think that the Catholic faith has the potential to catch on. Of course, I did watch an interview at one point. There was a priest from, like, an Institute of Christ the King priest from Japan. I don't know. I think it's kind of sad because the birth rate is so catastrophic there. They're going to basically they're the future of Japan. I mean, like the future generations of Japan are going to fade away because of the catastrophic birth rate. But okay, Sister Agnes Sasagawa supposedly received another message just a few days after the beginning of the Amazon Synod in 2019. This was October 2019, and what happened just a few months later? Lockdowns. So, no more messages from her. Now, does she have a diary of possible other messages? Well, we don't know, and we'll probably never know. Just like the third secret of Fatima. Although I don't want to say never. I don't. But with Sister Agnes, unlikely that we find out anything about any further visions. Okay, last week, the Argentine public television channel Canal de la Ciudad released a video showing an artwork by Father Marco Rupnik that hangs in Francis' personal apartment in the Vatican's Santa Marta residence. It is an image of a sleeping St. Joseph with an angel above him. It hangs on the wall next to a door while Francis met with Anita Fernandez on August 8th. Her grandmother was murdered during Argentina's military dictatorship. Catholic News Agency explains that the image is a detail of a larger mosaic installation in a chapel at a religious house in Croatia. It is at least the second artwork by Father Rupnik to hang in Francis's personal quarters. The other is a mosaic of Mary and the child Jesus that Francis spoke about in a video message he sent to a Marian Congress in Aparecida, Brazil in 2023. So Francis has at least two paintings in his, or two paintings or mosaics of Rupniks in his house. He has two that we know of. That's insane. Disgusting. This is what the Francis Church stands for. It's pathetic. And also what the Francis Church stands for. There's another bishop here to write down his name, because on August 28th at 7 p.m. at St. Joseph Church in Cold Spring, Kentucky, Bishop John Eifert of Covington, Kentucky will say a mass for a dissident Catholic support group named Catholics Embracing All of God's Children. The group participated in the Cincinnati Pride Parade in 2024, so he'll say an LMNOP mass. Eifert gained notoriety earlier this year when he stripped Father Shannon Collins and Father Sean Kopczynski of the Missionaries of St. John the Baptist of their faculties to offer public masses. Of course, they were saying the Latin Mass. So he's anti-tradition, and now he's doing an LMNOP Mass. And he's not the only creep bishop in Kentucky. Stowe is another one. And who knows? It's just a disgusting mess. All right. The Saint Mucho Tucho believes all are saved and hell is empty like Frankie. Our Lady of La Salette, pray for us. Friends of Frankie are protected. Okay. So that is, oh yeah, LMNOP. Yep. Okay. So there's a quick rundown of the news stories that I had today, or this week. There were a lot of like short and sweet stories, and I guess there wasn't a whole lot of Francis stuff. I really try to avoid him in the news, but I mean, I can't. That's disgusting. I mean, Rupnik, Francis's obsession with Rupnik, I don't know what you'd call it, but seems to really be a fan of Rupnik. And it's disgusting. It really is. I mean, there's just the Francis Church has seen only low points. I mean, you think you're at a low point, and then it just keeps going through the floor. Like it just gets worse and worse the more you learn about it. It's that's why I'm trying to not learn so much about it, and I mean, there's better things in life. than the Francis Church. Much better things. There's better things in the Catholic Church than the Francis Church. In fact, is the Francis Church even part of the Catholic Church? That's an open question. I can't answer that. Maybe you guys can. But that's it for EVTN News today. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. We are the laity, and we will not be silent.